Hello and welcome to my channel NBSoundHopperUK, and the subject of this video will be 6 tracks with links to David Lynch 1946 to 2025. David Lynch died on the 16th of January this year. Probably more people know of his work through reputation than by watching it. This is a shame and illustrates how exposure to anything out of the ordinary can be limited due to belief in second or third-hand opinions, which are often distorted. That aside, from the outset of his career in films, David Lynch attracted a decent-sized following because of the challenging and frequently bizarre or surreal way in which he looked at the hidden darkness existing in the seemingly ordinary lives of seemingly ordinary people. Many musicians have subsequently been drawn towards interpreting or sampling extracts from the many memorable scenes in his work. This video covers 6 examples as well as a very brief overview of each relevant scene. First is In Heaven Everything Is Fine by the Dance Society. This is the final track on goth band The Dance Society's debut album Seduction, released in 1982. It's an interpretation of a song which appeared in Lynch's early film Eraserhead, released in 1977, and it's sung by a character known as the Lady in the Radiator. The lead character in the film is played by Jack Nance, who would regularly appear in Lynch's work thereafter. The film is about Nance's character, Henry Spencer, and his partner, Mary X, played by Charlotte Stewart, becoming the parents of a grotesquely deformed or mutated baby that constantly cries, and how the couple then cope with that, or not, as the case may be. It's a surreal film, one for which a vast range of views already exist on what it all means, so I've no intention of going there. The Dance Society's take on the song builds from sparse piano, then adds reverb guitar, synth, limited vocals, and what evolves into a funereal drum beat. It's a worthy effort. Second is Rotorblade by Juno Reactor. A sample from David Lynch's 1984 adaptation of Dune is used in this track. Some thoughts of a certain sound is said by Carl McLachlan's character Paul Atreides in a pivotal scene where the indigenous Fremen are armed with the weaponry required to help them achieve independence from the clutches of the Galactic Empire and the Spacing Guild, and thus control the supply of the much sought-after spice melange only found on the Fremen's planet of Arrakis. It's largely allegorical, relating to countries in the Middle East and the control of oil. Rotorblade is on Juno Reactor's 1995 album Beyond the Infinite. Their speciality is trance music, and on this album, Goa Trance specifically. So, Rotorblade is an up-tempo track, and the sample is used in a break to great effect. There's another sample from Dune on the track Feel the Universe, but Rotorblade is the more memorable of the two, in my opinion. Third, Bite the Bullet Baby by Indo Tribe. One of the numerous aliases of the future sound of London, Indo Tribe's track Bite the Bullet Baby was originally released on vinyl in 1991 on the Pulse 3 EP. As luck would have it, it's now available on CD on the Pulse EP's compilation album. The track was pretty typical of Indo Tribe and, in a wider context, the future sound of London in 1991, i.e. energetic breakbeat and techno. The phrase Bite the Bullet Baby sampled in the track comes from Twin Peaks Season 1 finale Episode 8, co-written by David Lynch and Mark Frost and directed by Frost. It was made by the character Jacques Renault, played by Walter Olkowicz, whilst in conversation with undercover FBI Special Agent Dale Cooper, played by Carl McLachlan, him again, who was engaged in a sting operation. Renault was a suspect in the murder of Laura Palmer, as well as being involved in supplying drugs in the Twin Peaks area. After being hospitalised during his arrest, Renault meets a premature end when he's smothered with a pillow by Laura Palmer's father. Fourth is Hyperborea by Biosphere. More from Twin Peaks, this time episode 9, which is the first episode of season 2. There are a few occasions in Twin Peaks where positivity in human relationships comes to the fore. This scene has Major Garland Briggs explaining to his rebellious son Bobby a vision he had in his sleep regarding his son's future. the characters being played by Don Davis and Dan Ashbrook, respectively. The monologue almost has the kind of power found in the Tears in the Rain scene of Blade Runner. In other words, opposing forces finally finding an unforeseen depth of commonality. An extract from this is sampled by Norwegian electronic artist Geir Jensen, aka Biosphere, for the track Hyperborea on his 1997 album Substrata. In contrast to Juno Reactor and Indo Tribe, Biosphere plays ambient electronic music, and this fits perfectly with the sample, giving the track a meditative, dreamlike quality. The album has another track with a sample from Twin Peaks entitled The Things I Tell You. Again, the music and sample combine really well. Fifth is Something Wicked This Way Comes by Barry Adamson. Before embarking on a solo career, Barry Adamson was a member of post-punk band Magazine and then The Bad Seeds, as in Nick Cave and The Bad Seeds. Something Wicked This Way Comes is on his fifth solo album, Oedipus Schmiedipus, released in 1995, and is used in Lynch's 1997 film Lost Highway. It has a loungy, jazzy feel, employing a style quite popular in the mid-1990s, and it includes a sample from Massive Attack's Blue Lines. In the scene containing Something Wicked This Way Comes, one of the film's main protagonists, Fred Madison, played by Bill Pullman, is at a party. With the track playing in the background, Madison is approached by a strange-looking man played by Robert Blake. The music fades and is replaced by a low industrial hum, and the conversation that ensues is both creepy and funny, but for Madison, deeply disturbing. As the mystery man departs, leaving Madison in a bewildered state, the music fades back in. It's one of my favourite scenes from any film, and Adamson's track is a suitable framing piece. Sixth is Crazy Clown Time by David Lynch. This final selection highlights Lynch's lesser-known explorations into making music of his own or in collaboration with others, with his directorial talents being used on promotional video material. The track Crazy Clown Time comes from the album of the same name, released in 2011. It's a sort of loping, alt-bluesy dirge with a lot of backmask guitar, punctuated by female moans, plus David Lynch's falsetto singing and talking. The lyrics work as a commentary to events at a drink and drug-fueled yard party and is depicted surreally and brilliantly in the video. There is an air of complete indifference to inhibition or consequence on the part of the characters. It's trademark David Lynch and the type of video that I can't imagine anyone else being able to pull off convincingly. Along with the works I've referred to, Lynch also directed other noteworthy films such as The Elephant Man, Blue Velvet, Wild at Heart, Mulholland Drive, and Inland Empire. It would be stupid of me to say that the likes of David Lynch will never be seen again, because human ingenuity and imagination always finds a way to push beyond the mundane and grab attention by confronting us with a reflection of ourselves that we'd collectively prefer to ignore. In his time, though, David Lynch was a singular voice in Hollywood, and one whose work I've no doubt will inspire future filmmakers and creators in other media. In the video description, there are links to the tracks I've spoken about, as well as clips of the scenes they relate to. Interaction options are shown on the end screen of this video, so if you've made it this far, thanks for watching.